from the footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bringing you a 2012 Canadian Football League preview for the Montreal Alouettes, presented by 13thman.com. So let's start with the offensive side of the football, as we always do at Montreal, to see what they can expect to look like in 2012.
You talk Alouettes football, you have to start with quarterback Anthony Cavillo, the future Hall of Famer out there in Montreal. This guy is approaching 40 years old. He's going to be probably playing his last season. We say that every year. But as long as he's on the field, you have an opportunity to win if you're Montreal. And that's where they have to start. If they can keep him well protected, if they can keep him upright all 18 games, this team will always be in a run for a Grey Cup. But they're also well protected behind them. If you look at a guy like Adrian McPherson, once Cavillo decides to hang him up, whenever that's going to be, Adrian McPherson is a guy I think is a top 3 quarterback in this league already. When you look at his skill set, you look at his ability to move outside the pocket, his accuracy, and his ability to keep defenses off balance, the quarterback position for Montreal is well stocked. What a difference a running game makes for a team that throws the football heavily. You look at what they were able to do last year with Brandon Whitaker out there in the backfield. That gave defenses way more than they can handle. This guy has the quicks. He also has the ability to get downfield in the passing game. So it's that versatility, and you team him up with fullback Patrick Lavoie out of Laval. This guy is going to be a force to be reckoned with. He's going to help open up holes for the running game. And keep an eye on Noel Devine, man. This diminutive running back has the spark that you need out of the backfield. Now, you look at the receiving core. This is a group that prides himself on big play from the slot back position. Jamil Richardson is a guy that makes big plays each and every game, makes an outstanding catch look routine all day, every day. You also look at a guy like S.J. Green, another guy making big plays routinely down the field. But I really like the 2 young guys they have right now on the roster, in Brandon London and also Eric Deloreley. These 2 guys are going to help bolster the entire receiving core. So as long as Cavillo's back there upright, these guys are going to get open. They all catch the ball with their hands away from their body, and they provide that explosiveness you need in the passing game to compete in the CFL. Luke Brodeur Jordan is a guy that's a rock right there at the center position. But everywhere else, I have some questions, man. If you look at last year, Anthony Cavillo took some hellacious shots and was even knocked out a couple of games through the course of the season. So that leakage has to fix itself soon. Otherwise, his passing game is going to derail, the running game is going to derail, and this offense won't be as potent as it was last season. Moving over to the defensive side of the football, you start with the defensive line. You have to like number 7, John Bowman. This guy does a great job of living in the backfield. What I like most about Bowman is he uses his hands very well, and that helps him beat the offensive tackles a lot. And you also look at a guy they bring over from BC, Aaron Hunt, the defensive tackle. That guy on the interior is going to provide that push. And if you can get pushed from within in the CFL, it moves the quarterback left or right and changes the window he has to throw, and that gives you the advantage of the defense. Also, keep an eye on JP Bekasek. This guy is going to have another outstanding year, a young guy coming up through the ranks. Bringing over Rod Davis from the Edmonton Eskimos is going to be a huge asset to the linebacking core. That guy makes a lot of tackles, a gang of tackles. You team him up with Chip Cox back there and also Shea Emery. These guys are a formidable linebacking core, and with an improved defensive line, especially on the interior with Aaron Hunt from BC, the linebacking core will look a lot better, make a lot more plays downhill, and overall the front 7 of his defense will be vastly improved. I think the most underrated move made by a CFL team in the offseason was the Montreal Alouettes picking up Tyrese Hebert from the Cincinnati Bengals. You remember him for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, played an all-star campaign out there in 2007. This guy is a hellacious hitter. He will lay the lumber. He will be the enforcer back there in the secondary, and that's what they need. They gave up a lot of big plays last year. You team him up with a guy like Billy Parker, the veteran out there, and also Etienne Boulay. These guys are tremendous players. Tyrese Hebert going to that secondary improves this defense, the back half of that defense, tremendously. The number one reason for optimism is offense. They can score points. Last year, they scored over 515 points on the season. They have the depth. They have the playmakers. They have the talent. They have the coaching. Head coach Mark Trestman does a great job out there. So as long as they have the offense, they're going to win a lot of ball games. And defensively up front, they can get pushed. Now, I have to be more consistent. But I think when you look at the offense, you look at the fact that they've improved a lot on the defense side of the football. That's why there's a lot of optimism right now in Montreal. And you look at a cause for concern. You have to look at that offensive line. You have to look at the secondary. They gave up a lot of big plays. Have they really improved that interior offensive line outside of Brodeur Jordan? Also, you look at the secondary. Will they be able to stop teams from gashing them on those big plays deep down the field? They've taken steps in the right direction, but it's yet to be seen if this is enough to be an improvement over last season. I have a hard time picking against Montreal. This is why I'm going with them first in the East Division. I think last year they had some mental lapses in the secondary that caused them to lose some games, but the gang's all back. They're going to be well protected up front for Anthony Cavillo. He's healthy. He's ready to go. He's ready to end on a high note, and I think this team has the look of a team that can make a push for a Grey Cup championship.
For more CFL coverage, visit footballgameplan.com/CFL. And to talk more CFL football, visit 13thman.com.